Aloha, beautiful love family. It is me, Lisa Transcendence Brown. It has been a while since I did a video. Y'all know me. I come in here for one reason, I end up going everywhere else. It's always exactly as it's meant to be. I had things to discuss. It is February 1st, which time just doesn't exist. It hasn't for years, but it exists less and less and less as we go. We're shocked when we wake up and we've lost a year or two or three or a month or going backwards or forwards and all over the place in time. Okay. Let's talk about the matrix as it unravels for a moment. Now, and yes, we don't like to say this, but I need to say it just for the purpose of this. We have known for years this was coming. When we said that the grid work for old Earth had collapsed, basically a couple years ago, a year and a half ago, I don't even know. In December of 2015 is when the final collapse occurred. Many other things also occurred at that time, but right now I'm just referring to that one. When that final collapse occurred energetically, then the physical realities follow, if you will. There is a deconstruction phase. There is a phase of what we call in between. There is a reconstruction phase of all realities from the inside out. Now, collectively, there are many who have been doing this for years, yes, like moi, and all of those others out there too. We are the frequency holders. We are the gatekeepers. We are we hold the grid work for New Earth and all other dimensional realities in place too, consciously, intentionally, with the light that we hold and all of the work that we do. We work in multiple dimensions simultaneously, in every state, wake and sleep. We have holographic access to these other dimensions. Energetically, we get to see and understand everything before and as it occurs. Now, before to those who live in separation, because we see things before they technically occur in the physical. We see them as they occur for us, though. So when I go on and I write for people that this has just occurred, then I'm looking at every dimension, every timeline, the grid work of old Earth, the grid work of new Earth, the galactic grid work, the soul grid work, and all of these different timelines that run simultaneously from this one right here. I write for collectives. Sometimes I will write according to my own experience and share, because it is relative to assist, guide, whatever. Basically, everything is my own experience. It's my reality. It's my access to information from inside of me. Sometimes, very rarely, it'll come from a higher vibration, which means that it's occurring, and then we have to bring it in for the embodiment process to occur. The rest of the time, it always comes from inside. It's ours. We have become these galactics. We are the light beings. Our bodies are evolving at an unprecedented rate. Now, as you expand your consciousness, your DNA changes. As you open your heart, your DNA reworks itself. As you expand your consciousness, your genetics are recoded through soul sequences, galactic sequences, codes, geometrics, mathematics. All of these things are embedded into your physical body as it drops physical density. Now, I would say there is some confusion about density and weight. Even for me, for a while, until I finally got it, took me a while, especially once my universe said, okay, the weight's about to come off. I'm like, yeah. Well, weight and density are two different things. Physical matter and body mass are two different things. We have more space inside, so our bodies expand and get bigger, but we weigh less, if you will. And so a lot of us have expanded but we're not technically heavier. We're lighter than we would have been at that same size before. So if you actually start to pay attention, once your body actually drops the density, then its physical matter mass is different than it was before. You hold a lot of light, you hold a lot of space inside your bones and your teeth and your gums and your skull, and your muscles drop the density. This is a huge process of anchoring photonic light inside your body. Those photons, when everything gets going, your cells start moving really, really fast. They will actually clear out lately the word is debris. It's funny because I saw asteroids the other day, and I've been watching spatial debris. So I don't know. You know what? We never know what. Okay, so sorry. Okay. You will become the entire universe again. You will become all of your ascended aspects here. You will become galactics, light beings, crystals, Christed consciousness. You will hold Christed consciousness not as these are not concepts. This is who we are. This is how we function. This is how we exist. And as we go from human to quantum, our existence dramatically changes. Humans don't do well with us. And it's funny because I used to say that I didn't do well around humans. Well, it's flipped. I do just fine. Humans don't do well around me. The reason I say this, and this would go for everybody that lives multidimensionally, we are not bound by the old realities anymore. We are not bound by the constraints. We are not bound by the limits. Realities are as we create. Realities as we transmit out from inside by the amount of light that we hold as pure source creator here. No separation. Those beings, those aspects, they don't float around outside anymore. They are us, we are them. The unification process, the embodiment process means we become that. This is a huge process. It takes time. It takes years. It has taken our entire physical existence here. This is not a small thing. It's huge. This is why you see so many of us very serious about this here. The reason being is this is our human existence. This is why we came here. It's kind of cool once we get the hang of it, and then it becomes a whole lot of fun. All things are returned to us in accordance to the light that we hold. All physical world abundance is returned, and there's a lot of misperceptions about this. That's okay. We let everybody have their perceptions. We don't get all hung up or caught up in it. They'll get it when they're meant to get it. They'll understand when they're meant to. There's a lot of misperceptions all along the way. The thing about it is we don't try to convince anybody of anything. We show people how it's done. We open up, we share. We provide the information for those who want it, and for the rest, technically, we don't really care. And the reason we don't care is because we know that everything is fully in alignment as it is. Everything is exactly happening, exactly as it's meant to. Everything is exactly as it's meant to be. As we do this, as you fully align with the light of your soul, as you fully align from inside, there are multiple aspects that we all must merge and integrate inside of us in order to walk in these other dimensions easily. One, if you discount this and you don't believe it, then you can't do it. That's just the way it is. You have to believe. You have to open up completely, and you have to surrender everything that you are to your universe, to your higher aspects. You have to surrender your humanness to the bigger picture, to embrace the unknown and to bring it here. Now, the thing about it is to our human, it's unknown. It's scary. It causes us to have to walk in faith and trust. But the thing about this is that it's all up to us. We're the ones we're proving it to. It's ourselves. Becomes a huge paradox and quite comical, actually, if you will. Okay. The matrix, I'm going to go back to this, completely unraveling because it's meant to, because it's supposed to, because it's exactly occurring as it is meant to. You hold all realities in your physical body. You have a matrix inside your physical body. You have a gridwork. Your body is the systems for all of the systems out there. The foundation that your reality is built on determines the earth you live on, the dimension you live in, the timeline that you function in at any given time. Now, we are in continual timeline convergence, which means constant collapse of the old. Dependent on where one functions from, this can be devastating or the most divine, magical, amazing thing. If you've done the inner work, it's going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to be beyond your wildest dreams. This is where all of the grid keepers for New Earth that hold these realities in place, this is what they're experiencing. They're not going through what the rest of the world is going through because we've already done the work. We emerged, if you will. The forerunners chose to do this first so that we could, one, hold the grid work in place, open those gateways, hold them open. We're gatekeepers, we're way showers, we're all of these awesome, amazing things. But we're more than that. We re-educate according to the highest consciousness possible and available to us in any given moment, and we do not compromise on this. We don't compromise our realities for anything. If anybody comes into our reality that is not ready, then we lovingly allow them to go on their way. We understand how important it is for us to focus our energy and hold those highest realities in place for everybody to enjoy and experience when they're ready. Okay? That's the key. When you're ready. If you're not ready, you can't. If you're not willing to do the work, you can't. You'll see a glimpse of it. You'll see it exist. You'll feel it. It'll be blissful and it's magical, but then it's time to realign everything in your world and inside of you in accordance to the alignment with your own soul codes and frequencies here. So, yes, there's a lot that comes into play with this, and every one of us have to do the work. Now, there is a misperception that once we hit the fifth dimension, that it's going to be free and blissful and there's no money. And while there's still a money system in place, that isn't true. Okay? So, but is the opposite of what we thought it was. It's not going to be what you thought anything was. As long as there is a physical system in place where we exist in the physical, then all of the things that you came to believe are not going to be true. These realities are fully abundant. They don't lack in any way. That was an energy and a misbelief that we held inside of us. It was our unworthiness, and I will share this because each will feel unworthy until they start fulfilling their soul purposes and missions here. That's what makes us feel worthy. And the more we contribute, the more we support, the more we get ourselves out there, the more that we do, that worthiness equates into abundance and wealth. The reason being is we see the gift in everything. We appreciate absolutely everything. We don't waste anything at all. We understand the purposes that everything serves, and we take everything and we use it. We make it matter. And everything is for everybody here. The only thing is that everybody hasn't come to that place to fully open up, support, contribute, and share. And until they do, they don't understand. They're blocking themselves. They cannot receive because this is how it works. The more open we are, the more we contribute, the more we get ourselves out there, the more that we share, the more we actually become the supporting ones. The more we hold those realities in place, the more we receive in response. This is how it works. So if you're waiting for things to collapse, they will. If you are waiting for things to come, they're going to come in response to you. So if you're not doing anything, you're not going to receive anything. Now, There is a point of this process where we do expand into the higher realms, when we maintain that ascended state, where we're not of this earth, this planet, this galaxy. We are so far beyond this place. We're in magic and bliss, and it's playful and it's fun and it's awesome. And we all do have to go through that. It's where we're basically leaving the old realities completely. We don't even care about them anymore. And we're realizing what's available to us. And then it's time to descend as a higher self into your physical body vessel completely and walk as that here. It's time to create realities. It's time to make a difference here. It's time to get in service. It's time to do many things. It's time to anchor heaven on earth. It's time to bring the galactic schematics that we all receive when we hit galactic and global consciousness mode, if you will, or that part of our evolutionary phase, because we have phases that we go through and processes that we go through before we ever incarnated or walked in here, that we chose. We are in that time now. The lower density realms were built on unconsciousness. They were built on separation. They were built on everything that is not love. That is what is collapsing. And the physical matter that was built or constructed out of that also goes. So the chaos that you see is the unraveling of all of those realities. You don't want to be caught up in those. You want to basically do an about face. Stop, look at your whole reality, and see if it's truly in alignment with your highest aspect of you. Truly in alignment with the purity of love. Truly in alignment with unity, coming together, working together. And this is where a lot of people get hung up. They don't want to spend their money on it. They don't want to use their money. That's not how this works. Until you have committed every particle, star particle of who you are, every part of your solar expression, your soul, every part of your divinity to a whole new existence, you don't get a whole new existence. This is how it works. All right, I don't know where I was going, but I guess I'm going to try to go back. Wasn't the topic I was going to talk about. All right, so let's talk about challenges for a moment, because this is important. Each will be presented in every moment with challenges to see what you're going to choose. It's the point. The challenge is to challenge your heart, challenge your mind, challenge your human, until you transcend and resolve everything back into love inside of you and let it go and move on. It's not going anywhere. This is all up to you. Challenges are important. They basically show you where you're coming from. They basically show you what you're made of. They basically show you your mentalities and your beliefs. They show you your limits. They show where you'll give up. They'll show where you don't try. They'll show where you'll think about yourself. They show all of these things. Our job is to see them, stop judging them, and go, wow, okay, I had no idea I had that going on with me. The moment your heart truly opens, and you bring yourself back to that place of love. Gonna cry. The moment your heart opens and you come to that place inside, it is the most beautiful and magnificent thing you've ever experienced. It is home. It's your soul. It's the entire universe. It's everything. Things cannot fully align. When you come from this place, when it's where you exist from, your entire reality will change. But we're the ones that have to drop the pretenses. We're the ones that have to drop the story. We're the ones that have to stop trying to convince everybody, seek everybody else's validation. Stop doing these things. We're the ones that have to reach up and strive for more and aspire for more and dream. We're the ones that make it happen. Okay? If you've got walls up around your heart and you've got resistance going on, then your reality is going to collapse. That's just how it's done. So, if you are fighting anything, if you have any duality inside, it's going to emerge from within you. And if you carry it on, it's going to play out into your world. There's absolutely nothing, I can't talk today, that cannot be resolved from that place of pure love from within. There's absolutely nothing that cannot be worked through. There is absolutely nothing that cannot synchronize to the highest vibration possible if everybody comes from that place. And that's what makes the difference here. And if you can't do it, how do you expect everybody else around you to do it? Because this is your reality here. Humans are going to cause you to go human. That's the point. Those that function from separation, they're going to bring up your own separation inside. The moment you realize this, you'll go inside, you'll work it out, you'll figure it out, you'll raise your vibration higher, you'll expand your consciousness more, you'll open your heart, you'll unify inside, and you'll realize that this is not in alignment with who you are now. This is or is not in alignment with the purity of your soul. This is or is not in alignment with all that you know and hold. And you'll let it go. Because you'll know that the moment you release that a higher vibrational reality is waiting to come forth. It cannot occur if you're accepting the lower vibrational ones, if you're creating the lower ones, and if you're allowing the lower ones to occur in your world. So every bit of this is up to you. All right. New Earth has been here for years. There is an entire network of us. This is what we do all day, every day. Okay? So you have to, and I just wrote an article about this. I'll put the link at the bottom, and it talks a little bit about this. You have to look for higher realities instead of believing that the only thing occurring is collapse. Because collapse occurs so the new realities can emerge. If you're looking for the higher realities, if you're looking for the ones that are already in place, if you're looking for a grid work to link up to, your physical body is going to go through substantial upgrades. This is not going to decrease. This is going to continue to increase. And for those of us who function energetically, it takes everything that we have to be able to focus and do the linear, logical, physical work that we have to do and maintain these higher vibrations all of the time too. The physical body has to upgrade. The physical body has to come online with new earth. The physical body has to cleanse, clear, purify the distortions, the lower vibrations that were held inside, the suppressed emotions, the old beliefs, the old mentalities. They're in the body. And you cannot maintain a physical body existence and hang on to them at the same time. They got to go. Each has to tune their body to a higher frequency. Each has to love their body. Each has to respect their body and give it a lot of rest, a lot of nature, a lot of life, sunshine, live foods. Now, there will be things that are not live that your body will tell you it needs. There will be weird things that your body will tell you it needs that don't conform to any old beliefs. You're going to have to let all of those go if you're going to do this easier. I'm seeing a lot of old beliefs. Those went out the window. And so if you're holding on to the things that you should do, there's a difference here. We do what we know inside. We do what resonates with us. We do what our higher self, our universe, our body tells us to do. Okay. I know that I had a million other things to talk about, but apparently, all right, so I want to do just a brief moment for February. Y'all know my energy reports. Basically, they're always true. They're always the same information. They just apply to the current time we're in, if you will. Time is a vibration, and that is it. Okay, so a timeline collapsing is a ton of vibrations collapsing and merging into one. A convergence is a collapse where everything unifies in the same space. Now, the more quantum you are, the more the awesome realities converge for you. And it's the most amazing and magical thing. Okay? Now, if you're living in unconscious reality, if you're holding on to the old, if you're still playing in the old matrix realities, those not only are going to collapse, they have already collapsed. You are watching that occur. So each person must choose, because basically it'll take you with it, or you have to basically pull completely out of that and basically refuse. You're not going to be a part of that reality, that earth anymore. And basically, there's a lot of many different things we do, but we go inside, we check and see what is of our highest consciousness possible, and we expand, we open our heart, and we say, nope, not anymore. About face, let me go focus on what's important. Let me go focus on creating. Let me go focus being a part of what's already been created. Let me go focus everything that I've got on that. Let's all do this together and make it happen faster, because that's what we're here for. All right. The galactic / soul, and the reason I'm saying this, the cosmic, whatever you want to call them, upgrades that we go through on a daily basis, the energy upgrades that we're going through, constant recalibrations, constant encodements, constant, it doesn't stop. It only continually increases, and the physical body and the physical reality are all being, in every moment, there is a death and rebirth. In every moment, there is a completion and a brand new phase beginning. In every moment, there is a dismantling of the old and a whole new foundation for reality birthing. And it all happens from inside of us. We get to see it outside as we do the inner work. So if we're not going inside, then the outside will collapse for us to push us inside. If we're going inside, then we're negating the need, if you will, to wait until the collapse has occurred. So if you're feeling like you're walking a tightrope, if you feel like things that you're hanging on before everything collapses, then basically let go inside. Cry, get angry, do whatever you got to do consciously. Get it out, go to sleep, and wake up and say, okay, what do I need to do right now? And you'll be shown what to do. If you're really truly listening, if your heart is open, you will be shown. This is the part that the human misses, is it waits. You're not to wait. You're to get up and do what you're shown. Now, sometimes getting up and doing means going right back to bed. Sometimes your body needs to go through a huge upgrade and integration process that might take 3-4 days, might take a month. You'll just have to see for you. If you've been asleep for a really long time and you're just now waking up, then we merge our dream state into our wake one. Our realities flip and merge. And so when you start walking in a lucid dream and the quantum field relaxes and things start getting squishy and bendable and breathing and bizarre and weird, basically your matrix is expanding. Your grid work is expanding, and bizarre is an understatement for a while. Now, for those of us who exist on the other side of the veil, if you will, beyond the veils, there are always veils being removed. The only difference is where we function from. But basically, the lower dimensions, they're going to get more and more and more bizarre. They're going, because they are supposed to. Photonic light brings through bizarre. Now, in the old days, when we were ascending and then descending and then doing the embodiment phase, and for me, completing a process in 2016, moving into avatar and oversoul consciousness last year, then once you get to a certain point, then all of those other realities, they're technically not really real. They are for those who are in them, but they don't exist, and you don't see them or experience them anymore. Each person is in a different timeline, and humans cannot understand this part of the process vibrationally we can exist in all dimensions simultaneously. We can see them all. We can see the collectives. We can see how the energy is of all, but we're not prone or subject to that anymore. Our realities are very different. We're in a completely different timeline because we get to timeline jump. That's part of being quantum here. You can jump in a completely different timeline anytime you desire. And it's very easy because your cells do it for you. As your cells upgrade in photonic light, as your body reconfigures itself, and these codes embed into your body, and your genetic makeup changes itself, all of these things, as this occurs for you, you change dimensions, you change timelines. Your body has the Stargate system, and now I'm going to get into other things that are probably don't really want to go into for this one, but your entire system goes galactic, okay? Your whole body goes galactic. Your body reconfigures itself. At first, your heart has to open, then it moves to your mind. Then once you, sorry, I got something in my eye. Once you get to the mind part and you've been able to unify your heart and your mind to unity consciousness, and that's where you function from long enough, then it moves to your spine. And that's when plasma starts. Now, for me, that was a couple years ago. And when your spine and body starts and your cells start emitting plasma, it is quite bizarre. There's really no other word to describe the experience when it starts. Now, the thing about it is the word is propulsion system. Okay, our propulsion system comes online because we become a light ship. We become many things. We become that plasma light being on the inside. Okay, when your body goes plasma, you don't have the emotions of the old lower vibrations anymore. So if you do have anything occur in your world that creates an emotion of a lower vibration, at first our heart used to experience it, and then it moved to the head, and then our head would expand in photonic light, and we went through that too. Then it's the spine, and then it's all the cells. So like if I have anything, if I allow anything in my world that is not in alignment, where somebody lacks respect, where somebody lacks integrity, where somebody lacks anything at all and tries to bring that into my world, if I subject myself to that, then my body, my whole plasma body is going to emit and go into an overload. And it will emit plasma and go weak instantly. And then I have to rebuild my energy, which means that if I don't want to go through that, I don't allow those things in my world. Now, the cool part is humans cannot exist in our vibration very long. It's too intense for them. They can come in, they can get activated, but then they have to go. For us, we won't keep dominant human aspects around very long because it means subjecting ourselves to vibrations that are not fully aligned. And everything that is in our field of consciousness is important, because it can affect what we're here to be and do. It no longer affects us physically unless we allow an unconscious reality to occur, which is why we don't allow unconscious realities anymore. Everybody has to be responsible. Everybody's got to be on board. Everybody's got to be fully committed. The cool part is it can be fun. It can be awesome. It can be blissful. It can be magical for everybody when we come together, which is cool. So our new realities, they are amazing. When we come together, it's absolutely beautiful if everybody's on the same page. But if anybody isn't ready, it's loud. It's obvious. And basically, as a gatekeeper, we can open those portals and say, hey, here's how it goes. If you want to jump on board the ship with us, come on. Otherwise, see you later. We love you. Because that's how it goes. As everybody has to synchronize to higher vibrational realities and synchronize with each other, and everybody be on the same page in order to coexist. It gets more challenging And everybody's got to go through the process consciously, or everything gets out of whack and goes sideways. So, okay. February. Let me just say this. It's going to get more extreme for the unconscious dimensions, the lower dimension. It doesn't really matter what word we use. I'm just using it to describe. It's not a comparison. Nobody's better than anybody. Everybody's exactly where they're meant to be. I just have to use words to describe what I'm talking about. Otherwise, I got nothing to say. The unconscious realities that were built on anything that of separation, built on anything of fear, built greed, selfishness, it's about herself, anything built on blame, shame, guilt, not enough, all of these things. Those realities are going to cease to exist. They technically, for a lot of us, they already have. They are going to get more extreme. The reason being is because the extreme is the distortions becoming really loud so that you can see them. They will become more bizarre. This is what photonic energy does. Now, as you become photonic energy, it's not bizarre anymore. Everything, you walk in a lucid dream every day. It's magical. It's beyond amazing. It's exquisite. It's beautiful, it's profound, it's sacred. And the galactic realities that once we've done all the soul work, then the galactic realities can materialize here. The other day, I wrote about the I don't know the exact word, but basically the conclusion of the experiment phase. And then yesterday, I think it was, or the day before, was that we have moved into implementation phase. We are implementing the galactic schematics for how everything is to be done here. So those of us who work in these dimensions as galactic souls, and there's a two-part process. There's more than two, but I'm going to explain this here. Galactics have not done the soul work. Souls, we all have to do the soul work. We all have to go to that sacred place. We all have to evolve as souls and galactics too. Now, when a starseed, a star being wakes up, we basically grow up as galactics here. We were talking the other day, someone and I, about being galactic ambassadors. I became an ambassador when I first woke up to being a galactic here. At the time, it was like mind-blowing. And then a liaison, and then I embodied the entire Galactic High Council and all of these different aspects within me. And then I went through the genetic recoding for each one of these on top of the angelic realm. Went through God consciousness for a few years. We go through each consciousness until we've mastered that and fully embodied it here. Now, and this morning when I woke up, I was writing, and it was that just for the sake of understanding, then when I write as. I don't write on behalf of, I'm not translating from this is coming from inside of me, this is mine. I write as the entire galactic, for me it's the Galactic High Council. And the words this morning were the heavens on high. Which were interesting because you have a galactic and a soul aspect and they merge. Once you've gone through each dimensional aspect of yourself and done the clearing, the purging, the cleansing, the detoxing, the embodiment of that aspect, then you'll feel psychotic for a while because you're going to go in and out each one of these aspects. As you merge each one of these aspects inside of you, and then you're all of them, and you just become the aspect you need to be based upon whichever reality presents itself. It's kind of really cool. Once you arrive in heaven, in the physical, it is so deeply, sacredly profound. It takes you to the depth and the core of your being. And we've been doing this over the separation of time. For me, the arrival if you will. I don't even remember. I remember the last big one being in December, which was just beyond. Being granted the keys to the kingdom last August or September. I don't know what I write for you guys as I go through them myself. I had to go through an entire purification process for years as well. This is where we function from. This is our existence here. And so if you can't believe it, you cannot become it. You cannot experience here. You'll experience it, but you'll discount it as something else. So February is going to get more awesome, more extreme, more immense, more intense. And I use the different words because intense is the human's word. Immense is ours. It's deeply immense. It's amazing. It's magical. It can get quite intense energetically because of the upgrades we're going through. Our bodies are recalibrating on hugely as we go through these galactic encodements. We've been downloading is the human's word, and I don't use that word. We've been activating galactic schematics for many things here. And that's a huge process that has been continuing and continues on a daily basis now. I've been writing as much as I can, but sometimes my schedule doesn't allow me to sit and write. I write and I write and I write and I write something else, and then I got to do other things. I share as much as I can. From this point forward, and this will always be true, it's always going to be higher frequencies. It's always going to be more energy. It's always going to be more upgrades. What we're coming into, these galactic frequencies, the physical body has to upgrade to plasma. The immensity of what the physical body has to go through for this to occur is beyond human comprehension. And I could explain it all day long and still not even touch on a very tiny bit of it. And there's no way for me to cover it all because it's so huge, which is why I do as much as I can for those who really want to know, for those who ask. That's why I do the interviews and all of these things. So, okay. Humans will discount. Humans will look for an answer. Humans will try to fix. Humans are still trying to heal. We're not here to heal. That's an old human thing. You're here to love your body and respect your body so it can go through this upgrade process like it needs to. You're here to respect sleep. You're here to get out in nature. You're here to start fulfilling your purposes as a soul and a galactic and a higher self being here. We have to honor ourselves first for this to occur. So you'll have to flip your realities completely from focusing on the outside world to focusing completely on yourself. You have to become the most important thing for a while, and then you'll start realizing that you have achieved a certain place inside of you where you're completely whole, where you're not seeking or needing anything anymore, and you now have enough to contribute and gift back and pay forward and in order to accomplish the things that you came here to do. And that's when you will start gaining access to what you're here to be and do. Until that time, you're here to focus on yourself. You're here to pull yourself out of that old matrix program and stop playing in the old stuff. If it's yours, you'll get caught up in it. It's just energy. You'll get done when you get done. The only thing is that if each one holds out to the last minute where there's nothing left, and that's where realities collapse, and that's where they get pretty rough. And so basically the moment you receive information to basically pull out and stop, then if you will listen to that and start getting serious and start implementing the things that you receive from your higher self, from those of us who are already higher selves in the universe, and bring this information here, it'll get a lot easier for you. Okay. February is going to increase. March, April, May 2017 increase. We're in galactic frequencies like never before. Many of us are coming together in different ways because we are here to anchor higher galactic realities now. We have to complete certain processes as a soul, though, in order to do this to our full potential, which is why the soul work is so important. Because I'm going to say this, but it's kind of not true, but it's the only way for me to explain it. Half of you is a soul, the other half is a galactic. Now, that's not quite true, because you're 12,000 million other things too. But for the sake of this, in order to evolve as a galactic, you have to do the soul work. The deep soul work, your higher selves. You have to listen to them and surrender your entire existence to your highest aspect and reality in every moment here. Your higher selves are going to be your wisdom, your knowledge. They're going to explain, it's going to explain stuff to you. It's going to be different ones. You'll integrate them into your physical body structure, and then your physical reality has to align to that new frequency that you now hold. Your soul is going to be to the depths and the core of your being, and it is this sacred, profound experience. This is where you feel deeply. This is where you're connected with everything deeply. This is where you breathe with the universe. This is where you breathe with Gaia. This is where you breathe as the sun, your soul or aspect of you. And then you have your galactic, which is your star being, your star seed, your celestial aspect you. This one takes us into many other physical body upgrades that go beyond all of the other previous ones. So right now we have all of them going on, which is why it's so intense for many people, is because every aspect of you is activating now. All of that dormant DNA activating, all of those encodements activating, everything's activating, and your body's going to go through things that you will not comprehend. If you try to find a reason for it in the human world, then you're not going to understand. And you can, okay, so this isn't true, but I have to say it, prolong the process. And basically you can, but you can't. Because in one aspect, while you're prolonging it, in the other aspect, you're doing it exactly as you need to do it. So it's always true and it's not true. That's how things work here. All right, so February is going to increase like nothing we've ever seen. It's going to continue. It might slow down, but it'll be very strong. It might speed up, but it'll be very strong. There might be a lot of void places for those who have done a huge clearing. You have a emotional void, you have a mental void, then you have when the whole template gets upgraded, where the whole body goes through a void space, where everything returns to 0 point, and your reversing field spin, and then everything starts spinning again. That's when the stargates align. That's where all the timelines collapses, and boom, portals open, and everything starts to come forth. That's where everything speeds up, and it will slow right back down the moment it realigns. So if you're in alignment the whole time and you're hopping with it and you're doing without thinking and you're dealing with everything boom, 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 then the moment that you have completed everything within those timelines, then it'll completely align for you. Flow will return. It'll be really, really easy and everything will slow down again. This is how quantum timeline collapse convergence and quantum existence works. You're going to hop. You're going to slide. You're going to do all kinds of weird things as you jump from timeline to timeline. And we used to take small ones. Now we're taking big ones and bigger and bigger and bigger. The last ones since 2012 have been huge. Actually 2010, 2009. They started long before, but they amped up bigger, if you will, once we hit after 2012. That's when we were able to go super quantum. Technically last year our cells went super quantum. We completely obliterated super quantum this year. So I don't have a word for it yet. But all right, guys, I love you a ton, and I hope this helps somebody with all the stuff I ramble on about, which you guys know me. Happy everything. Look at your realities outside. They're going to show you what you hold inside. If things are not awesome, blissful, magical, then there's something inside of you that's out of alignment. If you will go right inside and get aligned, resolve whatever it is. Stop compromising or trying to fit yourself back into an old reality that no longer exists. It will be a whole lot easier for you here. Your consciousness is a part of a grid work. Your body is a part of a consciousness, of a grid work. Your body dictates which dimensions you get access to, where you can physically exist. And so love your body, respect your body, honor your body. Stop trying to fix it. Stop trying to believe you're broken or that you don't have enough or you're not enough. Those are old programs. It's not true. Look at what you do have. See what you have and how you can utilize this to its greatest potential. See what you have. See how you can step up and start supporting. See what you have. If you start utilizing the resources and the things that you have at your disposal to make a difference here, to support those who are already doing it, then you actually become a part of the New Earth grid work, and it makes it easier and faster for everybody here. So, all right, guys, I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Happy February. And I've been writing a ton. Go check it out. You know, you can always see us at awakeningtoremembering.com. The new classes are not up. You know what? I've been going through the physical upgrades very differently. It's just basically having to commit a lot of time and energy to the upgrade process. It's not as harsh as it used to be. It's very easy when we do. But our brains don't work most of the time, our logical linear brains. So it takes us focused all of the time to even complete anything here. Then we'll hit a few vibrations where we're bang on and we can bang it out. And then this is why we have to really stay in the flow of things, because if we let anything interfere with the process, then our reality is the one that suffers here. So I love you guys. Have an amazing everything, and I'll see you soon.